Welcome to On Today's Ride. I'm Kieran, and in this episode we're going to be having a look at the lovely town of Hoi An, around the rice fields, the old town centre, and maybe helping you answer that question, which is best for me, Da Nang or Hoi An? Okay, first things first, I want to get some breakfast. I'm out on the scooter, as you can see, going very slowly. It's a little bit of a foggy start, but that probably means once we've had our brekkie and got ready for the ride, hopefully the mist should have cleared and it should be nice blue skies. Okay, we're going to go and eat Bún Chả Hanoi, as it's known here. It's not a vegan breakfast, I'm afraid. It's a bit of a meaty Vietnamese one, but that's how it goes. And this is us. Bún Chả Hanoi. Okay, so this is the Bún Chả Hanoi. There's another good reason I like this place, and that is, say hello. Yeah. There's white cat, and there's a little kitten somewhere as well. I hope he appears. And cats, as I said before, very rare thing in Vietnam. A lot of dogs around, not so many cats. It's not a safe environment for cats for many reasons. Hey you. Xin chào. Bún chả. Một. Okay, Bún Chả Hanoi. In Hanoi, it's not called Bún Chả Hanoi, it's just called Bún Chả. But here, where it's not really from, they need to distinguish it from other types of Bún Chả. I think just a different sort of Bún Chả, and then you've got Bún Chả Cá as well, which is very typical of this area. So here it's called Bún Chả Hanoi. So it's a little collection of things. Bun noodles, and then the main event is a broth which is kind of sweet and sour, really lovely. A good broth. The broth, as ever, always makes a difference. And then it's always got carrots, and I think this is green papaya. I have to check on that. And then the Bún Chả is like Bún Chả Cá is like a little cake. I think it sort of means like a little cake. So they're kind of like mini burgers. And then of course greens, fresh chili. It's got loads of garlic in, super garlicky. And then you just take a little bit of bun, sometimes a bit sticky, dip it in the broth. Oh, so good. And it's gone. You didn't get any though, did you? Bún Chả the cat. Very sweet. Okay, so heading south, I want to do a little bit of exploring around Hoi An. So Hoi An is the town south of Da Nang, about 25-30 k south of Da Nang. Much smaller, used to just be a little fishing village. Now it's a tourist mecca. Going the wrong way. Yeah, so I'm on the highway heading south to Hoi An. Not from Da Nang, because where I'm staying at the moment is only 7k from, or 10k from Hoi An, so it's not too far. We're going to ride down, then we're going to check out the rice fields. There's some very pretty stuff around Hoi An. Get some luncheon. Taking away the Christmas tree. Up and over the bridge. Hoi An, straight ahead. They planted these palm trees, 2 different types of palm, last year, both sides of the highway, for miles. I mean, I have no idea how much that costs, but that cannot be cheap. Be pretty though, especially when they've grown a bit. Must take a bit of watering. Okay, off the big road onto a smaller one of these sort of concrete paths. Lady in her non la. Non la is the traditional Viet hat. I love those hats. They are so iconic. I mean, you see an image with someone wearing one of those, normally a woman, used to be men more. You immediately know where you are in the world. The eagle-eyed amongst you, well, maybe not that eagle-eyed, just slightly aware. We'll see, I'm sporting some new bit of gear on my head, so I've got some new bone-conducting headphones. If you don't know what those are, they're very interesting. Been around for a while now, just haven't quite got around to trying them. They're headphones that don't go in your ear, but they transmit the sound through your jawbone. And I was never convinced they're good for cycling because you can hear through your ears. I can hear that motorbike going past as clear as day, but at the same time I can hear the audio that's playing from my phone. Okay, the big question, the one that I'm often asked by people coming to this area for the first time, is Hoi An or Da Nang? And it's a tough one to answer because they're both very different. Laundry's out. Yeah, Da Nang's a big city. It's the, well, as I said before, Westerners think it's the 3rd biggest city because they haven't heard of the 3rd biggest city, which is Haiphong, after Saigon and Hanoi, of course. Hanoi's the capital, but Saigon's the biggest city. Then Haiphong, then perhaps Canton as well, as you sometimes read, and then Da Nang. Despite that, despite it being a big old city, it's very amenable. I think it's the nicest of the big cities. I mean, I love Saigon and Hanoi, but I couldn't live there. Whereas I could and have lived in Da Nang. It's easy to get around. You got the beach. The traffic works pretty good, I think. I mean, if you came here for the first time, you might question that, but you get used to the traffic. Believe me, it's a lot better than Hanoi's traffic or Saigon. But Hoi An is a very different prospect. I mean, it's a small fishing village that's grown into a tourist mecca. Now, the centre of Hoi An is a place of unimaginable horror in my eyes. And it's very pretty, but it is just swamped with tourists. COVID is well and truly over. I went down there during COVID and filmed it, and there was not a soul to be seen. It was kind of eerie. But now it's just packed with tourists. However, if you want to live down here, you just don't go in the center and you live around the edges in the rice fields, and it's very, very pretty indeed. Yeah, Hoi An's also the town of 100 bridges, at least, probably more. Because there's a big estuary here, lots of little islands, all linked up, all with bridges, some bigger and a little bit more well made than others, shall we say. Some don't even have a railing, just wide enough for a scooter. And then there's the iron bridge, as we call it, that you rattle and clatter over. We'll be on that in a bit. Fish farms. I mean, personally, I'm not sure I'd want to eat anything that was living in that river. I think we're kind of downstream of Da Nang here. Now, in terms of cycling, it's a slightly different story. I've always lived in Da Nang, almost always lived in Da Nang. I think Da Nang is better for cycling if you like to do a bit of climbing, because you're nearer the Hoi An Pass and you're nearer Song Cha Peninsula and Monkey Mountain, as it's known. I mean, you can still get there from Hoi An, but you've got to add on another 50k to get to Da Nang and back. But if you just want to mooch around sort of mostly flat rides through very pretty little quiet lanes like I've been on through the rice fields, then Hoi An has got a lot to offer, I have to say, and I did. Yeah, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, if you like riding through this sort of scenery, then definitely Hoi An. Try a bit of both, that's what I've done in the past. I did stay in Hoi An last year and absolutely loved it. I might get a chance to do so this year, but today I'm moving back into Da Nang City. No, I'm not crossing that one on my bike. Okay, we're sort of south of Hoi An, on a fairly big road, but still going through the rice fields. We'll get onto smaller roads in a minute. I want to do some drone flying, so that will be the perfect place for it. Okay, on one of the lovely smaller cement paths that crisscross Hoi An and surrounding areas. Sometimes a bit broken in places, as you can see, sometimes smoother. Definitely helps to have the gravel bike. Yeah, I think it just gives you more options here. Okay, which way at the junction? Consult computer, straight over. No one coming, lots of flags. They do like a flag here. Not sure I've ever drafted a cow before. Off the other side, fishermen are out. And on to Tam Quang Island. Very pretty little island just south of Hoi An, Old Town, but feels a million miles away. It's a pretty little place, Tam Quang, and you're literally minutes away from Hoi An, Old Town, Hoi An and surrounds. So if you wanted to stay somewhere a little bit off the beaten track but not far from civilization, I'd say Tam Quang is a great option. I suspect in the coming years it will be very much more overcrowded, you would say. Past the school, Tong. See these kids, they're a lot more used to tourists. They don't say hi, not like when you're out in the sticks. Doing a bit of exploring from Tam Quang over the rickety wooden bridge onto an even smaller island. Slightly nervy, and these planks are a little bit looser than I'd like them to be. Oh, gravel bike comes into its own. There's sand. And we're over onto this little island. So have a little ride around, see what we can see. Thanks to Jack for this tip. Jack put me onto this and also reminded me of the boat temple, so we'll go up and have a look at that in a minute. So this is a phenomena, these things, these structures with birdsong playing from them. I've always noticed them in Vietnam, particularly around Da Nang actually, and always wondered what they were. I've asked various people and none of the foreigners knew what they were, but I finally eked out the truth, whatever the expression is. They are places where they are making birds' nest soup nests, if you see what I mean. So the bird song there is to keep the birds, pull them back in, where they make these nests from their own saliva. It's a very particular species of bird, and this is said to be a delicacy, these saliva nests in soup. Okay, well, people eat some weird shit. Vietnam's very famous for it. I think it's called yen. Little cement path through the swampy mangrovey stuff, and here we are at the boat temple. I haven't been here for a couple of years. It's not looking in such good nick as when I was last here. Looks like it could do with a bit of paint, but it's just I mean, it's not a real boat. It's temple made to look like a boat. Anyway, we'll see if we can get inside and have a look, because there's something of interest inside the temple. And what's of interest inside is this wonderful collection of whale bones. Yeah, you can see the vertebra. I don't know where they came from. Anyway, on the boat temple of Tam Quang Minh. Looks like this bridge may be out of commission. Not sure I want to go over that carrying a bicycle. May not be a path on the other side either, but I'll have a look anyway. Whoa! Nearly got me with a bucket of water. Okay, down this little alley, and then this sort of bigger river here. I'm going to turn left past these lovely boats and flags. Oh, a man in a non-la hat. That's kind of rare nowadays. I mean, traditionally everyone wore non-la, but often the men just wear baseball caps nowadays, and the women are keeping the tradition alive. Okay, up and over the iron bridge. Very noisy. I've been trying to get the KOM on this for years. I'm 2 seconds off. There's always a nasty headwind or crosswind, as you can see. But today, just enjoying the view. Okay, and into Hoi An Old Town, into the touristy bit. It may be a bit quieter now, Tet's over, end of New Year. It gets very busy at night though, not my scene at all. But it is pretty, and there's some lovely old colonial, ex-French colonial architecture. This girl just came running out of the shop. Nearly had her. You know, it's big for lanterns. They have sort of lantern parades and that. And it's very famous for the Japanese bridge, which is, oh, has got a structure over it. They must be doing some repairs. Anyway, you can see it's all tour guides. Ooh. Okay, if we're in Hoi An, we've got to go and see Checkpoint Cafe, a new coffee shop for cyclists and non-cyclists, opened by a couple of friends of mine. So here it is, Checkpoint Cafe. Bike stand outside, so I'll leave my bike. And it's run by Jasmine and Huang. And Jasmine is the partner of Jack, who was in last video I filmed, if you remember. Super sweet. And Hong, also super sweet. And I hear she makes a very good coconut coffee, Cafe Zua. Okay, here it comes, brought by the lovely Huang. They're going to make her blush. And Benji. Benji didn't give me a very good welcome, did you, Benji? Look at that, fantastic. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I don't know how that even stands up on its own. So it's a sort of coconut. There isn't room. See, I was pour the coffee on, but there's no room. So I'm going to have to eat some of the coconut, and then I'll pour the coffee on. Okay, this street, Chanfu, has got to be the heart of it, the heart of the kitsch. That said, no one really looking where they're going. It's a bit of a pedestrian street, so I understand it. But when in Vietnam, be very careful on the roads. So lanterns and yellow buildings, people in rickshaws, ladies in non-la selling expensive fruit. Specialty foods of Hoi An. Khao lao is probably the main one. It's a particular type of noodle, very nice noodle. And they can only be made with the water from 4 springs in Hoi An, to be official. Proper khao lao. Very nice dish. Okay, we're going to cut through and we're going to go and eat some vegetarian food because we had a bit of a meaty breakfast. So we're going to go and eat chay. Keep ringing that bell, baby. Hoi An, also famous for its exceptionally thin alleys, and this is one of the thinnest. Okay, down this lovely flag bedecked alley lies the chay place. So chay. Is rice, or it can be used just generally for food, and chay is like the Thai word jay, same root from China, a religiously affiliated vegetarian way of eating, and this one, Tam Quang Minh, is fantastic. Okay, so everything's all prepared. Come, and yeah, you just choose whatever you want. You have a bit of this, bit of that, and it'll come to 30k, which is £1. Okay, so what do we got? We got the white rice. We got some sort of sticky tofu. We've got like a sort of hot dog, which is nice. I had it the other day. It's kind of smoky. It tastes like a hot dog. Some of the sort of gluteny thing. Green beans. This is really nice. It's like a sort of corn fritter. And then you always get free soup, bit of chili paste, a bit of soy sauce. Perfect lunch. Azidafat. Azidafat is the Viet word for Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. But it's interesting because you get the two D's there, the two Viet D's. So the D with the line through, which is a D, and the D without a line, which is not a D. And in the north is a Z, and in the south is a Y. So I'm just saying Azidafat, you could say Ayidafat. And there she is, the Rat Sinik Hoi An. Now unfortunately it's closed. It says permanently closed, which is a real shame, but at least the building's still there. Back into the rice field, held up by a family of buffaloes, but nearly home. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it's given you some idea of lovely Hoi An. Give us a thumbs up if you can, and see you all soon on today's ride.